Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to show you how I did these cute little pocket inserts. They could be used as floating pockets or glued down onto a page using index cards. So I used one size on this one, and then I used a larger one on these, and I think they are absolutely fun. Some of them I did finish off, some of them I did not. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I don't normally like to finish too many ahead of time if I don't know where they're going. So you can see these, I finished off the tags and the little inserts, just fun little things, decorated the pocket. Here's a bigger one that I fully finished with the tags and stuff. And then these, I have not finished the tags as of yet because I don't know how I want to do them. I'm still going through my stash. I've been doing these small projects as scrap busting, as well as shopping my stash and using the things that have been sitting here for quite a long time. So if you're interested in finding out how we do this, stick around and we'll get started. All right, I used two different sizes of index cards. I did use the 3x5s, and this is actually the smaller one. You can tell right here, 3x5. And then I used the 5x8 one, which is taller. And I have a lot of these. And you can see here that I did cut it down. Okay, so there will be a little bit of waste, but we can always figure out other things to do with the piece that we cut off. So let's do the smaller one first because that one's a little bit more involved. And I had these colored index cards that every once in a while I'll use, but some of these colors are a little bright for the style of journals that I do. And I've been using them in other ways. So this one here, I believe, was yellow, but you can barely see it because I did ink the sides. So let's do one that's blue. So you're gonna need 5 index cards to do this project. You're gonna need some kind of wet glue. Inking is optional. I do have my glue stick for when I decorate the outside of them. But for now, that's all you're going to need. You're probably going to need, when we do the bigger one, you're definitely going to need a paper trimmer. And let me see. It's been really cold. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everyone is safe. With all the snow that came through, it's been really, really, really cold. I'm looking for a rag, guys. I usually have a rag around me, but it looks like I don't have one today. I do not. Okay, we'll figure it out. Anywho, so we're going to take 2 index cards and we're going to glue them together. So all I did was come here in the part where the red, the top of the index card where the red is at. And I just laid some glue there. And then I butted this one up to that red line. Make sure they're even, top and bottom. And just let that catch. And we're going to do that for, that's the front. And then this is going to be the back. So we're going to do that twice. And just that easy, it's going to start to come together. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for this. If you're asking about, or you're wondering about the type of glue that I am using, this is regular old PVA glue, school glue that I put in like this old Sugar Bells bottle. And that works good for me. So that's my front, that's my back, and this is going to be my pocket. It is that easy. So I have some digitals, and I've had them printed for so long. Sorry for the reach. And I don't know, they didn't put their name, but I don't know where they came from. But they look so pretty that I wanted to use them. And I think I want a dark color in the back, for the back. portion. All right, so we're gonna trim off this edge as much as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect because I just want to get an idea of where the top is at and where the side is at. So when I glue it, I'm not overlapping onto the white by accident. So it has been really, really cold, guys. Oh my gosh. Let me grab my glue book. And we're going to start with one side. Now, this glue stick, someone asked me recently what kind of glue stick I use. This is simply A+ jumbo glue stick. I get it from my local discount store. It works really well for me. And I have not had any issues with it. It is very sticky. And it seems like I'm struggling with it because it is very cold. So my glue stick is a little on the solid side instead of, at room temperature. All right, I'm going to move that aside. And I know I want this for one of my, and I think I want to capture this side. So I totally, oh, that's pretty too. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to guesstimate more or less where I'm at. Let me see if I have a spatula. Totally unprepared I am. And I do not have one here. Oops, as I drop everything. So we're going to make do without one. Okay. So that is that. I have another fun project to share with you too using index cards. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy that one as well. Love using items that you can find anywhere. They don't require you to go make special purchases or go out of your way. A lot of this can be found at the local discount store or the 99, Walmart, any big box store like that. All right, so there is that one. And then for the back, I think I'm going to want something lighter. So since I am here, I am going to use this because I am trying to use my scraps. So let's pull this back in and put that to the side. And I think this is light enough where you can write on it if you choose to. So I think this will work. Let me just measure it to make sure that I am within the boundaries. Yes, okay. This time I'm going to glue the lines on the inside because that's a little lighter and I don't want the lines to show. Okay, so there we have that. Make sure I'm getting to my edges. Push this off to the side and then I'm going to come in the middle just to be on the safe side. I'm going to give that a good press. Make sure I'm at the edges. Okay, and then we're going to give it a trim. I did these on a mass make. I kind of built all the front and backs because I was sifting through papers and digitals that I had pre-printed and just kind of using them up. And these are actually printed on copy paper. So because the index card is on the thicker side, I didn't want to add too much bulk. So I went, I pulled out all the digitals that I had printed on copy paper. Okay, so this is my front. That's my back. This is what it's looking like so far. And you can see the seam. That doesn't bother me at all. It's not a secret how we put this together. And then I think I'm going to want this right here because I am going to do a thumb notch. So let me just even this out a little bit. best I can. And let me just cut this off the top. Not really necessary, but it helps me. Okay, let's bring this back in. This is the side that I'm going to glue. And that is to hide the blue when we cut the thumb notch. So, okay, there's that. And let me make sure I'm on the right side. And then we're going to just kind of go off the edge a little bit, and I can trim. Let me flip this. And there is that. Trim off the excess. And while we're working on this one, the other one is drying. Where am I? I don't want to cut the index card. Here we go. Okay. And there is that. So now we have that. That felt funny. Yeah, here it is. There's the culprit. All right. So now I'm going to get a circle punch. I'm going to come in and I'm going to give myself a notch. At this point, you can ink if you want to. I'm not going to waste too much time. I don't want this video to be super long, but I'm just going to ink the top because I won't be able to get to that once it's put together. So now, you see the blue. And if they were to peek inside, they don't see the index card. So we're going to glue this together. I'm going to glue it on 3 sides, right? So we're going to come down this way. Everything is freezing. It is like 10 degrees here today. And I am pre-recording this before the weekend because we have another storm coming through. Oh, that's so gunky. Let's see. Let's see. I think that will do. All right, let's see. That's better. Three sides. And then we're going to butt these up together. And I'm going to give that some time to catch. Give it a good press. Take a look on the other side. If there's any overhang, we can always trim it down. So we're good there. Yeah, good. All right. And now for the outside of the pocket, we need to figure out what we're going to decorate it with. So let me pull my papers back in. I think that will probably look really pretty there with that lace. So let's use that. Let's not overthink it. The papers are gorgeous. I wish I knew where I got them from, or if I remember where I got them from. I purposely kept all the pages together, thinking that sometimes designers put their name on the ephemera sheets, you know, where we have the pockets and tags. But in this case, they did not. So I'm going to use that front top side. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to add glue to my index card. Okay, I'm being very generous with the glue. Double check my orientation. I'm going to be somewhere around here-ish. Give that a good press. Oh, I think I caught a little bit of that butterfly. Yay! That's a bonus. Let me trim this off. Sorry if I'm out of frame. Let's move that out the way. And then a nice trim. This is also a great project to use. Sometimes you guys are very fortunate to catch estate sales or offices that are vacating and getting rid of their supplies. Some of these index cards might have been used or have some kind of writing, or maybe you have index cards from your children when they were in school and used them as flashcards, and this is a great way to reuse them and just cover them up. So now we're just going to glue this here on 3 sides, and we're going to butt that up right there. And then at this point, you can decorate however you want. Pull out your scrap laces, your scrap trims, your word labels, number labels, flowers, flat backs, and have a fun and just decorate. I'll ink it and then I'll decorate it after. But there is that one. Oh, this one is a little off, so let's see if I still have time. I do, to straighten that out. All right. So it's always good to double check. There we go. So there is that one. That's this one, using the 3x5 index cards. Okay, so you can decorate that however you like. To do the bigger one, I ended up cutting an inch off. So I cut it to 7, and then I took my pocket at 3. So we're going to grab, for this one, you're still going to need, you don't need as many as you did for the 3x5. You're going to need 3 of these. And we're going to get our paper trimmer and we're going to trim. We're going to trim them down. So I have a corner that's a little mushed. So that's the corner I'm going to cut off. And I'm going to cut both of them at the same time. So we're just going to take an inch off. That's all. Now these you can use as little belly bands, or if you're doing a belly band and you need a stopper at the bottom so it doesn't slide all the way down, these make some great ones. So some of these offcuts you can then in turn glue onto the cut off piece, and now you have a belly band or a page, you know, a tag stopper at the bottom of a page. So these are still handy to hang on to, and when you don't have cardstock, index cards is the next best thing. So this one I'm gonna cut at 3 inches, and that's gonna be my pocket. And then out of this one I can cut another 3 inches and make a second one if I wanted to. And again, I have another piece that I can use in another project, and this one measures 2 inches. Okay. And then this one is constructed exactly the same. Okay, so I'm not going to fully construct this one and have you watch me glue paper. But you would lay your paper down on both sides. Lay your paper on the back side, on the inside. Thumb knot your front. Glue them together. Figure out your decorative piece, you know, paper that you want to use for the pocket. And there it is. That simple. You can sit here and make a ton of these. And I have a ton of index cards. But here's another fun way to be able to use them in your journals. Whether it's the 5x8, slightly trimmed down, or you're going to use the 3x5s. I think this is the perfect size to put inside of a journal. Let me grab a journal. Most journals measures 5.5 or 5.25 by 8 or 8.25. But I think these are perfect size. It'll take up the entire page, but it is a great add-on. If you want to glue them down, obviously you don't have to cover the back, but you can always paper clip them in and make them a floating ephemera piece, which is why I cover the back. So you can still journal on there, journal on all the cards, but they will sit nicely right in here. And they're removable. So there it is. All right. I hope you enjoyed today's project. I am trying to be mindful not to make the videos very, very long. And we're still filling up our big book of ideas, but here is the ones that I did off camera. And I'll finish that one and add it to my ephemera pile. So we have the big one. We have the smaller ones. And just for comparison, I should show you what that small one would look like inside of a journal. So if you wanted to, you can just construct the front, don't do the back, and then glue that on. And that pocket here would just be against your page. But I wanted mine to be floating, so I made writable space in the back, and I wanted to be able to clip them inside of my journal. So there is the smaller one. These are the 3x5s. And then this is the larger one, what it would look like in your journals. Aren't they pretty? I absolutely love them. And I've been having a ball being able to use all these little bits of scrap that I have around. So there goes the big ones. There goes the little ones. Here's the one that we did together, the smaller one. And then I showed you the basic construction of how to cut your bigger ones down if you choose to use that. And then there you are. All right, my friends, let me know what you think. I hope you guys have an amazing week. And I'll see you at next week's video showing you a fun ephemera piece that we're going to make with index cards. So, as always, stay blessed, stay warm, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care now. Bye.